The International Energy Agency, or the IEA, today released a new report that examines the progress being made in the area of technological innovation in the global energy industry. Now, according to the IEA, the new report provides an assessment of tech advances as well as policy, investment, and spending trends in the energy sector around the world. Let's take a listen.
Everyone knows intuitively, I'd say, that technology innovation is important for the energy sector, and indeed that innovation more broadly is good for the economy, our industries, and our daily lives. The fact that energy innovation is in the spotlight should not be a surprise to anyone. Innovation just simply cuts through too many important energy policy goals, from raising the competitiveness and environmental performance of existing industries to establishing and competing in whole new sectors, such as clean technology manufacturing, to improving supply chain security and resilience, to improving affordability of energy products and services, to facilitating energy access, and of course, to addressing climate change. But in energy, innovation is not only about breakthroughs equivalent to those that we have seen, for example, with a new cell phone or with a new touch screen or even groundbreaking materials. It's about a whole universe of innovative technology and product solutions. It's about experimentation and committing to a long-lasting race of R&D efforts and making the most of small but very often crucial steps along the way, accepting that many projects may or may not ultimately lead to successful commercialization with the impacts on the energy system that we have witnessed for those technology innovation success stories in energy, such as nuclear, such as solar PV, batteries, electric cars, and others. Such innovation progress is notoriously difficult to measure. There are no simple and easy metrics to quantify technology progress through the stages of their pre-commercial development. This is a problem because intangible progress does not easily get the attention of decision makers. And there's always a risk that innovation support is cut back at times of competing priorities, even if the underlying challenges of energy security, of competitiveness, of climate change, etc., even if they don't go away. Against this backdrop, we have developed this new State of Energy Innovation report that we are releasing today, in which we have assembled a large range of data sources and metrics to illustrate the importance of innovation, to highlight progress, and to identify potential action areas, all to assist decision makers in making the right choices today that can deliver on the key policy goals of tomorrow. As my colleague Simon Bennett, who is the lead author of this report, will show you in a moment, the report shows three important things in my view. It shows how energy innovation has delivered for key low-emission technologies like nuclear, solar PV, or electric cars, but also with pioneering work that was spilling over to other sectors of the economy and for wider macroeconomic priorities such as diversified trade balances. The report also shows how energy innovation is performing. Apart from the wealth of data and metrics across patenting, venture capital, R&D spending, and more, we identify some 150 innovation highlights from last year in our report, based on a survey of nearly 300 experts from around the world, as well as priority areas where we think some critical milestones towards commercialization are achievable within the next 5 years or so. The report, finally, as a third element, also shows how energy innovation can be fostered. We acknowledge, of course, that each technology has its own unique challenges, so there is no simple or single recipe to success. In fact, we do recognize that innovation requires time and patience just as much as it requires genius and finance. It is vitally important that decision makers remain tolerant of projects that do not turn out as expected, but nonetheless provide those important learnings that may facilitate the next step in the innovation journey. But there are important insights from our report, key priorities or areas of action that Simon will talk about a bit later, that we believe are important for policymakers to take note of as they look to bolster energy innovation.
We have assembled a range of data sources and metrics to illustrate the importance of innovation, to highlight progress, to spell out where are the bright spots and the good news, and identify potential action areas. And all of that is to assist decision makers in making the right choices today that can help deliver on the key policy goals of tomorrow. And these range from enhancing energy security to making energy more affordable, addressing climate change, and of course, air pollution. So I'm going to begin the presentation today with a reminder that the benefits for technology innovation for the energy sector and more generally, they often only reveal themselves in hindsight. And that means after successful commercialization. And yet the seeds are always sown earlier than that. Let me give you a few examples. Today, nuclear energy is a mainstay of global electricity generation. Much of it was deployed in the years following the 1970s oil crises, but that growth was fueled by research. In response to those energy crises, by 1980, IEA governments were spending nearly 0.06% of their GDP on public nuclear energy R&D. That's actually a higher share of GDP than they spend on all energy R&D combined today.